put some people here.
Oh, well, that was that. Was off to a good start.
Yeah.
No, sometimes it does it, and sometimes it doesn't. It's just like, but why? Justin. Sorry, Ashley sits there. My little adjust your hair and everything too. Like, so my air. So my hair. Air. Jesus. All right, hello everybody. My name is Tyler Mills with HASA and Renda, and we're doing another episode of Truck Time in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I have Cody Williams here sitting with me with Nautical 7 Pools. What's going on? How's it going, Cody?
Oh, another beautiful day here in Vegas. Nice, easy weather today. It's not your typical over 100. It's actually under 100.
Yeah, what is it right now? Like,
It says 98, maybe a couple degrees difference.
so we'll start off by, we met probably 3 or 4 years ago, right? Roughly?
Right on that time frame, yeah.
Okay. And we met because you were new to the industry. You found Arenda's podcast. That's what got you on our track or in touch with us. Is that right? And I spoke with Eric after that?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. And then what were you looking for mostly when you first started? Or how'd you find the Arenda podcast or Arenda in general?
So I went into the industry not knowing as much, and I didn't have any kind of formal training. And so randomly had the idea. I was out cleaning pools one day, and I was listening to music all the time, and I was like, I feel like instead of music and just banging this out, I feel like I might be able to double task. And so I just randomly went into Spotify, typed in pool podcasts, and up came Pool Chasers. So I started listening to that. Through Pool Chasers, I was able to find Roll Your Pool, and that spiraled into where I'm at today and how we operate and run business.
Okay, I remember, because Eric did a Pool Chasers podcast. Is that how you found out? Or you just kept searching for pool podcasts?
I ended up seeing it through the Pool Chasers podcast, and then I started having to split my time between listening to both because they were both so good, but they covered different things at the same time. And
yeah.
I really wanted to start focusing on the chemistry, and well, that's Will Your Pool 100%.
Yeah, the Pool Chasers, they do a good job too.
Good.
Yeah.
Very well-rounded.
Yeah. A little different topics, but still worthwhile to listen to. So you were new to the pool industry. So where did you come from before that?
So before the pool industry, I worked at Power Sports. I did everything from sell parts to selling motorcycles. When it came to off-road accessories, just before I walked into the pool industry, I was doing sales and finance over at Ducati of Las Vegas, where I met a pool builder who I didn't know was a pool builder at the time, and he kept buying bikes from me, and I was like, okay, I'm curious now you got my attention. What do you do? One thing led to another. I finally found out what it was that he did, and within, I think, a matter of months, I ended up working for him, and my eyes kind of broadened once I stepped in the door and realized what the pool industry was. I had no idea.
So did you still work at Ducati and work for him, or did you decide to go all in?
Oh, I went all in.
All in.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I have a very hard time kind of splitting time up, and between having a full 50, 60-hour-a-week job over there, I decided, the better way to do it was just to do a clean break and then just kind of go all in.
So that was 3 or 4 years ago, because you worked for the pool builder first before you started your own company.
Correct, yeah. So that was, March of 21.
Okay.
And then by August of 21, I had my own business.
Oh, so you got the pool builder, what, it was like peak building during COVID then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably crazy.
Yeah. Virtually,
You're like,
what is this? Yeah, I had no idea. And it's kind of a great time. I feel like if I would have walked in at any other time, it may not have come out the way that it did. But because of the time that I entered, everything was fire sale. You couldn't get parts. You couldn't get equipment. Everyone wanted a pool in their backyard just with given circumstances. So I realized that there was a large financial decision behind wanting to join, and ultimately decided that, hey, I think that I can make a career out of this.
What did you do for the pool builder? What was your job there?
So he brought me in, and again, I had no understanding of the pool industry. I knew that it was pool. You jump in, you swim, you have a good time, all that fun stuff. So initially they had me training. I went out with a couple of their designers, learned how they started to do bids for designing and selling pools. Sold a few pools, built a few pools, and then, if you've ever done anything like that, it's kind of a long process to get paid out on this kind of thing. So I also picked up doing renovations, which we happen to do quite a few of, as well as, again, I like to go all in. So I also picked up a service route from the builder. So I was designing pools, running estimates, doing that, running estimates, doing renovations, keeping up with all of the renovations as a project manager, and also servicing and cleaning pools a few days a week as well. Really just kind of hit on all three sides of the industry. The only thing I wasn't really doing at that time was repairing equipment and event stuff.
So you were kind of doing everything for the builder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you enjoy that, or did you want to specialize?
I enjoyed it. I felt that I wanted to specialize just because there's so much to learn. And so I didn't happen to know nearly enough when it came to the building side of things. So I'd always have a lot of questions. And, builders, they could get really, really busy, especially during that time. It was just impossible to be able to get the information I needed. I'm the kind of person I won't give a client an answer unless I happen to have the correct answer. And so, it wasn't necessarily the easiest. So I wanted to specialize more. I ended up purchasing the route from him, and I still did renovations on the side for probably another 6 to 12 months before completely just relying on my service and repair boutiques.
Gotcha. So Takate, pool builder. Then you decided to start Nautical soon.
Yep.
Did you? Did you grow it organically, or did you buy a route first? How did you get started in that?
So I bought, what was it, 20 pools that I was servicing for the builder, maybe 20, 30, something like that. And it kind of grew into what it is today on an organic basis. I did end up buying the remainder of those pools from the builder that he had still had maybe 2 years later. But as far as everything else that we had, it all grew organically. We didn't really do any kind of marketing. We just asked for, referrals from our good clients, and it kind of is where it is today.
And how many? Where do you at to now?
Just under 200.
Just under 200. Just under. Okay. And you got trucks on the road too.
Yep. A couple trucks on the road, a couple full-time guys, a couple part-time guys.
Okay. Yeah, I will say you do call and bother me sometimes with random questions, and sometimes I can't answer those questions, so I apologize for that.
It happens.
But my point is you do take the time to learn the best way to do things. So, which I think is awesome in this industry. The accounts that you have, is there like a chlorine type you prefer, a filtration type you prefer, a pool type you prefer, I guess you could say too? What do you kind of aim for?
100%. So our biggest push lately, we'll service anything under the sun, provided that they can, agree with our terms and conditions, because they are rather rigid and strict. Just because we want to make sure that everything is taken care of a certain.
You send in a contract?
It's not necessarily a contract, so to speak. It's kind of like the terms and conditions, like when you sign up for Netflix, right?
Oh, okay.
Check the little box. We've got an approve or deny. There's no signature. It's kind of like a subscription. They can cancel at any time. We don't want people to feel like they're trapped, but we do want them to understand exactly what it is that they're actually agreeing to. So with that, we do service chlorine and salt pools. Our main preference is salt right now. I want to say we're close to about 70% through all of our pools that we service are salts. It just ends up being the not easier, but the cleaner, more efficient way I found to chlorinate pools, especially here in Las Vegas with a high heat. Never know exactly how someone's going to be using their pool. We just find that it's the healthier alternative than chlorine, and we're able to actually assure the client at the end of the day that their pool stays properly chlorinated 7 days a week versus just that one day that we're there on a chlorine basis.
And the pools out or not on the salt cells? How do you chlorinate with those?
So,
Liquid?
That's a great question. We use tabs very, very minimally because we're very aware of the cyanuric acid build out here. So we use a very low amount of tablets, and then we also use cal hypo to supplement that. So that's what our shock is, just to make sure that we're not over stabilizing any of the pools. I think now we've got a few pools that we've had from fresh fill, about 3 or 4 years old, right in the 50 to 60 range on this UIA, which is pretty impressive considering that, I think it's easy within a season to get over 100 on
Very easy, so. And then on the off season, do you just stop using tabs altogether?
100%, yeah. We use almost exclusively just cal hypo in winter.
Okay. And we could talk a little bit about what you do, because you're installing a lot of acid beers.
Yes.
And how that conversation happened. I think it was a couple of years ago. You called me with an alkalinity problem, and you're having a lot of calcium flakes.
Yes.
Right? And we came to find out that part of Vegas was what, 220, 250 coming out of the tap?
Certain parts, yeah. It's insane. I mean, I think the general average is anywhere between about 120 and 180 right now, which a lot of people think that, hey, it's Vegas, we get our water from Lake Mead, we have a calcium problem. I don't think that we have a calcium problem. I see calcium actually behaving a lot more than alkalinity. I see that the alkalinity is the problem once you factor in like temperatures and everything else.
Yeah. I haven't seen it's more high LSI due to high alkalinity
Yeah,
from what I've seen.
100%. As once we get the alkalinity neutered, so to speak, I mean, everything kind of falls into place and we're able to actually achieve balance through that.
Okay. So yeah, we were talking. I was like, you go there once a week. It's going to take forever to bring down that alkalinity over time. And then we talked about acid feeders, just focusing more on pH instead of trying to take alkalinity all at once. All right, everybody, we are back continuing truck time because apparently 96 degrees is too hot for the camera, so they overheated. I think we left off on startups.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Left up on startups. We were talking what about the Renda barrel? We started incorporating that. I bought the barrel like a year and a half ago. I think the first time I was able to use it was tail end 24, so last year.
I think I guilted you into buying the barrel.
Well, I saw the science behind it. I was all about it. It took a while to be able to get one, and then I got it, and then it just kind of sat there. Because trying to coordinate with plaster crews and renovators and builders on when plaster is going to get done is next to impossible. That's the hard part of that, yeah. But finally got our first opportunity. Was not a dustless startup, but we finally gotten to the point to where we are getting dustless startups. So I'm not fully confident that we're 100% for everyone moving forward, but we're working on it. It's process.
Most of your business, I know I said Las Vegas, be trill. But is there like certain parts of Vegas you stay away from, certain parts you want to be in?
100%. So
Personally, I don't know why. I don't know. It's jump scared.
that's new. Okay.
I don't know why you live here, but that's just me.
Yeah, me neither. Unfortunately, I started my business here and it's doing really well, and I can't just ask all of my clients to, go move somewhere nice like Phoenix or St. George or Utah or Tennessee or any of the places that we've been looking at. I'm not in love with Las Vegas. I ride motorcycles, and all the roads out here really suck and they're really straight and boring. So it's not great for me. I don't gamble, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that fun stuff that they do on the strip. So yeah, I don't quite get why I live out here, but it's really hot, and with that comes everyone has a pool out here, so really good for the business.
Clearly it's hot because our camera's overheated.
That.
Yeah. So yeah, going back, what parts of the valley?
Yeah, sorry. So parts of the valley, we stay away from the northeast. I live in the southwest valley, and just going out to the northeast, number one, not a great area. Number two, very, very far. Number three, if I'm not mistaken, it's one of the areas in Vegas that like most people tend to stay away from. So it's either, there's not enough technicians in that area, and if anyone listening to this, if you do not operate in the Northeast, you see a hole in the market, it's a great place to go. I try to stay mostly we got the 215 freeway out here from like Summerlin. I like to keep it Summerlin, moving south all the way into the southwest, curving into Henderson. So basically like the whole southwest and then southeast side of Vegas we're trying to do. We try to stay out of the heart. We have some pools in North Las Vegas and up in the Northwest, but predominantly we're mostly in Summerlin, Southern Highlands, and Henderson.
I always laugh when people in Vegas say it's far.
Yeah.
In Phoenix, it'll take an hour and a half to get across the valley.
Well, I mean, it depends on what time. It can be a long, arduous drive. You got to take the 15 for any reason. You hit rush hour, but I lived out in Phoenix. I totally get that. It's 35 miles end to end out here typically.
So you're in Peoria, right?
I worked in Peoria. I lived in Glendale, and then I lived in Scottsdale. But
Three very different.
yeah,
I know.
But I got to know Phoenix really well in the time I was up here. I know the large, major metropolis area that is. Vegas gets in like a small little mini quadrant of looking since it's a.
Yeah, I agree with that. Did you look to go other areas or just the state of Las Vegas?
We definitely are looking at other areas. It's mostly about trying to build out Vegas to where we can slowly branch off. Is that I want to just sell a business out. I'm definitely looking at St. George. I hear good things about that. Similar weather, not super far away, while at the same time far enough to where we can accurately judge what it's like to start from scratch, and close enough to be able to still manage Vegas closely. Looking at some other areas, so St. George is one of them. Salt Lake is another, and then my wife's actually looking really, really hard at Tennessee, which is very fun.
Well, yeah, congrats on getting married.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
At EDC.
Yep, I'm married at EDC. It's a good time.
You invited me that, and I didn't like, not a chance of.
Why do you think you didn't get an invite? Price is new.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I haven't been to Tennessee. She has. She actually got her CBI certification. It was Watershapes University out there, and she fell in love with it. It's a very different market out there. I would want to travel out there because I hate the humidity. That's another reason I actually kind of somewhat like Vegas is the dry heat out here. Yeah, it gets really, really hot, but at least it's dry. I will melt into a puddle if there's humidity. So that's like the one thing that kind of keeps me away from the humid areas.
Isn't it just like riding your bike in this heat? This is
I mean, I don't ride in the middle of the day. Try to get up nice and early before the sun's up. Oh yeah, I try to wake up early, go for a ride to beat the heat. You know, the good thing about riding in the summer is, like, you know, your tires stick to the pavement, so you don't have to worry about them washing out on you.
I don't know how you do that. You're terrifying on a bike.
That's a lot of fun.
I'm sure it's a great time, but
I don't know. I like adrenaline, so, you know, anything that gets my heart rate up makes me feel a lot. Something about dopamine, brain, it's like an encouraging, like, positive reinforcement factor. Okay. Very, very much about it.
you get deep on it.
It's motorcycle. Does more than move body, you know? Moves the soul.
Moves the soul, there you go.
Yeah.
You're still fairly new to the industry, which is fine, good, whatever. What are some of the things that you really like about it and some of the things that you don't like about it?
So I think the number one thing I like is the number one thing I hate, which is ironic, I guess you'd say. I like how easy it is to be able to get into the industry, and at the same time I hate how easy it is to get into the industry, because there's so many mistakes that can be made from not knowing or not understanding what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And you're talking, you know, six-figure investments in someone's backyard most of the time. It's a lot of liability to have to deal with. And I know that, you know, at the very beginning, I learned more or less what not to do before I learned what to do. I feel like not everyone has that same background, but and the fact that you can just grab a whole brush net, call yourself a cool guy, and then go buy some chemicals and hope that you're treating it right, it's kind of a scary thought.
There's a lot of resources now, though. Like, you got online resources from different manufacturers, a lot of great reps out there, too. So I feel like it's a lot easier to learn quicker versus back in the day where you just had to kind of figure out as they were going. And there wasn't as great of information as there is today, I feel.
No, I'm maybe 100% with you. Mostly because I learned all of my stuff from online, podcasts, online resources, YouTube, all that fun stuff. It just comes down to the person that's doing it, you know, are they going to take the time and put the effort into learning what it is that they're actually doing? And me personally, I'm the kind of person that I probably should have been a lawyer, love to argue. And I learned very, very early and at a young age that if you're going to argue about something, you better know more about it than the other person that you're talking to. So on principle, I don't argue about things I don't know about. And when I decided to get into the pool industry, it was, okay, I don't know enough about this. I need to learn as much as humanly possible. And that's kind of what started that hunger to learn and be better.
You love to argue.
So it's one of my favorite bands.
I did not know that.
Oh, Ashley hates them.
Well, I did know that.
Yeah, I know
It's sarcastic.
have a phrase, it's CWR.
And what is it?
CWR.
Okay.
So Cody was right. This is my favorite
Phrase or her freak?
Oh, it's my freak. So no, we coined it, so I thought we can totally cut that. That doesn't need to be in there. But yeah, 100% she hates that. Just because I want to see this industry elevate, and I don't know if it's just the general demographic of where I'm at here in Las Vegas. You throw a rock, you're gonna hit a pool, guys. It's a very saturated market. There's a lot of us, but at the end of the day, we're not all created equal. And I've seen enough pools to realize that not everyone is capable of treating a pool to the same standard. And that's the thing that kind of gets to me, is I just want to see everyone elevate. It's good for the industry. It's good for their business. It's good for the homeowners hearing the same thing from multiple people, rather than you come in with the right information and they're like, why are you the first person out of 25 people to tell me this? I feel like you're not telling me the truth.
I think some of that, though, is people don't know what you don't know, right?
That's fair.
It might be things they have the right information, or maybe they don't. But that was my point of, there's so much good information out there right now. Just how you decide to use it, it's up to the individual. So being someone pretty fresh in the industry, if you had to give advice to anybody that's starting off, what would that advice be?
That's a good question. So it's the same advice I give to any technician I hire. And we don't hire anyone that has any experience. I don't want somebody else's bad hours. We want to train from the ground up.
Like zero experience at all.
Zero experience. I want you to understand that this is a swimming pool. If you can swim, that helps. I'm not going to teach you how to swim, but you need to know how to get out of a pool if you fall into one.
Wear floaties.
Or wear floaties. I mean, there's that too. So the first two things that we do is we have them start listening to your pool, and then we actually have them go through and take all of the Reddit tests. That way we can verify that they've taken the information, they learned the information to a specific degree. They might not be able to get pop quiz on it on the spot. We're still working with that on a consistent basis, but listen to Rule Your Pool. That's huge, because that definitely transformed my business. Go through, look at all of the Renda information packets, all of the blog postings, get all of their certifications. And then I always tell people too, we're just a better, more well-rounded, full industry scope. I highly refer back to Blue Chasers, just as again, that's how I found Renda and Rule Your Pool. And so I want to make sure that, people have a kind of brand, large scope when it comes to the industry, because they cover things from building, renovations, supplies, housing, all of the things that kind of you may not think of if you're just servicing pools, but it makes servicing pools make a lot more sense when you're starting to look at all of the different facets that go into, hey, this is an entire industry, not just, hey, I'm here to service a thing. So yeah, go out, get as much information as possible, take the time to learn it, study it, and then, apply it. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to set you apart from all of the people that didn't do that.
Now, would you recommend starting small or just jumping all in?
What would you say by jumping all in?
Like, let's say you're someone interested, there's 100, the route of 100 for sale. You've never touched it in real life.
I would probably say that would be a terrible idea for about 99% of the people.
It would be overwhelming, for sure.
Be overwhelming.
There's so much going on.
I mean, to do 100 pools solo by yourself, it's doable. At the height, I think I had 120 I was doing solo in a week. It was terrible. I worked 6 days a week.
Like, including repairs and all that, too.
I think you're doing everything. I did everything, yeah. So, it was miserable. I did it. I was also very adept by that point, so I wasn't, just walking in. I think just walking in, somebody that buys a route 100 pools, you have to be anticipating that you're going to lose minimum of 30%, just not knowing necessarily exactly what you're doing off the bat. It's more than just throwing some chlorine in a pool. You have to understand the equipment. You have to understand the different types of equipment, how they operate. If you set a valve incorrectly, and all of a sudden a homeowner's calling you at 9 o'clock at night as their spa is drained down. I mean, these are all things that have happened. I've seen other people do it. We've had techs do it. I've done it myself. Small mistakes, you get enough of those from people, and all of a sudden they lose trust. So I think that buying a route of 100 pools, not knowing what you're doing, it's a big bite to chew. Not meant for everyone.
Yeah, especially, could you imagine, like, starting in July? Terrible.
I mean, you would know real quick, within about a week or two, whether or not that's what you were going to do. Whether that means that you try to sell back to the person you bought it from, or you try to sell it off to somebody else, it's going to explain itself really, really quickly what you're going to do one night. Yeah, no, I don't know. That's a lot. I couldn't imagine doing that myself. When I was fresh, I had a few pools that turned green. No shame in it. I think we all do. I think if you have no pools that turn green, there's more questions in that than if you didn't.
I'd agree with that. Also, like, half expect you to turn it off or go off running real quick.
Oh. I mean, shit. Oh, yeah, it's actually open.
You also have cameras in the back, so you can't.
That's fair.
I thought we should safety first, everybody.
one of my first carbon hull that was gifted me from a client, 20-footer, flew out of the back of my truck. Well, it actually didn't fly out. My truck launched so hard that the pole stood still in space and time, and then gravity acted, and it dropped, and then someone ran into it. I was pretty pissed.
Do you have a warranty?
No. They didn't warrant. I think it was like 3 or 4 years old. It wasn't even worth picking up the pieces.
Pop quiz time.
Alright, question 1. When were the first goggles invented?
First goggles invented? Shucks, I'm gonna say like the early 1900s. That just feels right.
I feel like I'll just give it a 1905.
The early 14th century.
Early 14th century. What was the purpose of that?
They were used in Persia and they were made from polished tortoise shells for divers.
Okay.
Interesting.
Which famous hotel features the world's largest rooftop infinity pool?
Which famous hotel has the largest rooftop infinity pool?
Is it in Vegas or Dubai?
Ooh, good call.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna steal your answer. Somewhere in Dubai.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, somewhere in Dubai.
Marina Bay Sands and Singapore.
Singapore.
Okay. That tracks.
I feel like we're not gonna get one question right here.
I mean, yeah, Singapore's crazy though. They got.
Alright, I'll throw you a bone.
All right.
What, when combined with chlorine, creates the chlorine smell, like chlorines?
What combined with chlorine creates chlorines?
The chlorine smell of chlorines, yeah.
Yeah,
You know those.
we do. Wasn't it like anything that can be oxidized?
What's a nitrogen compounds?
So urea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ammonia and nitrogen.
You know, nitrogen, urea. Yeah, all the fun stuff. Yeah, when you pee in a pool.
Accurate organic matter like urine?
No one ever pees in pools though. That's all fake.
Cody, my pool smells like chlorine because you used too much chlorine. No, it's not quite how that works, but okay.
Which famous Las Vegas hotel has a pool with actual sand and a wave machine?
Oh, I do know this.
You know, I live here. I should know that. I don't spend enough time on the strip, so I have no idea. And I refuse to get into pools.
It's is it Mandalay Bay?
It is Mandalay Bay.
Nice. I've been there. That's why I know that.
Okay. Fair point.
Alright, in what year was the first public indoor pool built?
First year public indoor pool built.
I feel like this was a very long time ago. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna lock in between 0 and 500 AD.
Oh, you're going way back.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
Cody says 0 to 500 AD.
1868.
You were not close.
That was very, very, very badly. Okay. Alright.
Where was that at?
I gave Human Switch credit.
What famous pop group appeared in a swimming pool on the cover of the February 1984 issue of Life magazine?
Nirvana.
Yeah, Nirvana. Well, she said pop group. Nirvana was a pop. It was a kid in the pool, not Nirvana itself.
They were in the pool?
Yeah, they were the people that be the pool. You said pop group, right?
Yes,
I just feel like an idiot.
What was the year again?
1984.
Well, consider me we're alive.
Well, yeah, that is older than me. Like we're dealing.
Backstreet Boys was after that, right?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Oof. Was it NSYNC?
And Cody went with NSYNC, I went with Backstreet Boys.
The Beatles.
What? Beatles.
They're considered pop.
Clippy did a little bit better in those, I thought.
Those were miserable.
Oh, you're like
Those aren't even real questions. Yeah, no, I was like prepared for like the, throw the book at me. Let's go. I'm sorry. Sorry, I was not appreciative.
All right, so that is it for truck time here in, I won't say beautiful Las Vegas, with Cody Williams and Nautical 7 Pools. And again, my name is Tyler Mills of HASA Narenda. And if you're interested, truck time, reach out to HASA. And then issue of the books. Thanks, everybody.